Preacher 357 here, out here on the range. I thought I'd just bring my Glock 19 out here and just see if I couldn't hit this plate down here. So I thought I'd just make a video of me just shooting at this plate down here with my Glock 19, because I'm sure I'll hit it every time I shoot at it, because I just feel like I'm that good today. So here we go. Let's see what I can do. See if I can hit this plate. No. I got it. No. Got it twice. 3 times. I guess I ain't doing too bad, but I just kind of felt like I'd hit it every time, you know? Oh, what's going on? I just kind of wish Glock would make a rifle, you know, so I could just hit that thing every time I shot at it. Too bad they don't. They don't make a rifle, but you know what? Somebody does. Ruger makes a rifle in 9mm called the PC9 Carbine, or Carbine, or the PC9 Short and Chunky, as I like to call it, because it's a little 16-inch rifle and it's real short even for a 16-inch barrel, and this rascal is chunky. And I ought to know, because I know chunky. It's a hefty little rascal here. You'd think a small carbine like this, a small rifle that's handy and would not be very heavy, but you'd be wrong. This sucker is, it's hefty. It's got some mass to it. But let's see if I can hit anything with it. And it just so happens, it'll take the magazine out of my Glock 19. Look at there. A Ruger taking Glock magazines. What do you know? Let's see what we can do here. Maybe I can hit it with this. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but hopefully with a rifle I can hit that. Well, I missed on the last shot. Wouldn't you know it? Pulled it to the left a little bit. But I thought we'd take a look at the Ruger PC9 Short and Chunky today. So let's take a look at it. But first, let's go into the shop here, and I'm going to show you some interesting things about it first before we actually bring it out here and do some more shooting. All right, guys, I've been here at the cleaning table with the Ruger PC9 Carbine here. The Ruger PC9 Short and Chunky, as I call it. And I'm going to show you some of the features here. It's actually a very simple rifle. It's very easy to take apart. It's very easy to make some of the changes that you can make with this rifle. Some of which are somewhat inventive. Now, obviously, this has been around a while, and it's probably not a surprise to most people, you know, what this gun offers and some of the benefits of this rifle. But I thought I'd go ahead and just show you just the same, even though you might be familiar with it already. The Ruger PC9 Carbine is much like the 1022 takedown model in that you can take down the barrel. You can take the barrel off of the receiver and the stock here. And so in order to do that, you have to lock your bolt back, and this one's already locked back. And then there's a little lever right here. You just pull that lever, push that lever forward, I'm sorry. And in the process of doing that, you twist it, and it comes off. And now the barrel and the fore end are off of it. If you want to change out this, say you're wanting to put one of the tactical ones that have the M-lock or whatever on it, Picatinny rails or whatever else that you might want all up and down your rifle that they make for these. Midwest Industry makes some, I think, for them, and what have you. All you have to do is take out this this one screw right here. It's pretty tight in there. And all it takes is this 5/32 Allen wrench. This is not the one that actually came with it. Allen wrenches come with the Ruger PC9 Carbine. The ones that actually came with it, I think, are still in the box. I already had one of these, so I didn't need to use it. But you can see the fore end just comes off there. The handguard just comes off, and there you go. There's your barrel, and you can put whatever you want on it instead. If you want to change it out, it's very easy to do. So that is how that works. Pretty simple. I mean, it can't get much more simple than that. That's about as easy as it can get. If I can tear it apart like this, you know it's got to be simple, right? I'm not a gunsmith, but I sure do like messing with guns. I like tearing them apart and then trying to figure out how to put them back together. I must have had it. There we go. So there is the barrel. Now on the receiver here and the stock, once again, you just have these two screws here, and that's all that is required to drop the receiver, the bolt and all out of it, and the trigger pack there, and to separate it completely from this stock assembly here. So we'll do that now. Go ahead and use this end, give me a little bit more leverage here. If I can stop being clumsy. There we go. And these screws are captive. They do not come all the way out. So they're not designed to come all the way out. So there's no reason to try to get them all the way out. We just loosen these up until they're completely loose. And there you go. Your receiver, your bolt, and your trigger pack are now all separated completely. And if you want to get the trigger pack out, there's two push pins, that just slide out. And you don't necessarily have to take them all the way out, but I'm going to, if I can get it out, that is. Well, there we go. It helps if you let the bolt go home before you do that. That's why it was so hard to get out. But there's the trigger pack, all by its lonesome there. And of course you could take this down even further. There's your bolt release right there, your bolt hold open that you would use. And there's a cross pin right there that you would push out. So this can be taken down further, but there's really not much need in that. And this also gives you the option of putting different trigger packs in there, because I think they have some aftermarket, or maybe even Ruger has some that have different triggers if you want like a better trigger or what have you. Very easy to change that out as well. I'll just put that to the side. And here we have our bolt here and our receiver, but we're going to set that to the side right now, because one of the most interesting things about the Ruger PC9 is the fact that you can change out the mag well. Here, right now, I have got this set up to accept Glock magazines. See, the Glock magazines go in, they lock in. However, when I got this rifle in, it did not accept Glock magazines. It accepted Ruger magazines. And so if I want to change this out, all you have to do is push your mag release in and pull this mag well straight out. And then you just take the other one, and I said you just take the other one, you got to put it in there. Helps if I put it in the right way though. There we go. Had it backwards. There we go. And now it's set up for Ruger magazines. This is a Security 9 magazine. This is the SR9 magazine. And you see it fits in there. The Security 9 magazine will also work in this gun. It'll take either the SR9 magazines or the Security 9 magazines with the standard mag well that comes with it. And this is the full-size SR9. Well, there we go. With it all apart, it doesn't work as well as it does when it's all together, obviously, because things are not as tight as they normally are. You see all this stuff slides, so that's why. There's nothing wrong with the gun. This is the actual 10-rounder that came with this gun. You can see it fits in there as well. There we go. So if you want to use the Ruger magazines, you drop that mag well in. If you want to use the Glock magazines, you put the Glock mag well in. They also make a mag well from Ruger. It's not sold with the gun, but that you can buy that will take the Ruger American mags as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing aftermarket mag wells that will fit in them to, use other magazines besides the ones that are already been mentioned here, besides the Ruger mags or the Glock mags. I don't know of any, but it wouldn't surprise me if they came out with it. It'd be very simple to do. If, say, you had a bunch of M&Ps and you wanted to use M&P mags for your Ruger PC9, you know, wouldn't be much to make a mag well that takes the M&P9s that you could just slip in there, or whatever other, you know, format that you have in a double stack size magazine. And so that's pretty much all there is to it. If you want to change out your release there, it will go to the other side, I believe. I believe it can be changed over. I may be wrong about that because I've never done it. But it takes a smaller Allen wrench for that, which I believe is included as well. But I've never messed with that because it's perfectly fine where it is now, so I have no need to move it to the other side. On the receiver and bolt here, you have a handle here that can be put on either side. I've got it on this side. It came originally on this side, on the right-hand side, and I just decided I liked it better on the left-hand side for whatever reason. Just the way I use it, it seems like it makes more sense to me to be on that side. It seems to fit better for me on that side, so that's what I do. I keep it on the left-hand side. But what we'll do is we'll just take this off, and it uses the same Allen wrench. And you just unscrew this, and it comes just right off. And there you've got that free, and now you can take your actual bolt out. And what you do is the recoil spring here in the back, you just grab that plate and pull up on it, and the whole thing pulls out, and there's your receiver. And there's your bolt with your recoil spring that's on this plate right here is how it slides in and holds it together. And right here you have a tungsten counterweight. And that's one reason why this bolt is so heavy. I mean, it's gigantic anyway. It's a steel bolt and it's huge. I mean, that's a big bolt. No way around it. But it's got this counterweight in it. I mean, that thing is hefty. And they say it's to mitigate recoil because it's a blowback type system. But I'm almost wondering if that heavy weight of this, when it comes back, is what you're really feeling. You're feeling that inertia from that. Even though the weight is supposed to stop it from slamming into the back because it weighs more and therefore it's not going to move as fast. It takes more energy to get it up to speed. I think once it does move, it tends to have a little bit of a wallop to it. So, but I didn't try it without that counterweight in there, so it may be better with the counterweight than without it. That's why they put it in there. But honestly, it's got a little bit of recoil to that rifle, but it's not terrible. But anyway, there is your bolt that goes into the receiver there. And that's pretty much all there is to this gun. Obviously, here's where the lockup, where the barrel extension locks into the receiver. You can take that off. Not that you would ever really need to, unless you're just changing out something that I wouldn't normally change out. But, there it is. That's pretty much the long and the short of just pulling this rifle completely apart. And that's pretty simple. That's pretty modular. It's pretty easy to do. And, when you get done shooting and you want to clean it, you can tear it all the way apart and really get down in there and clean your gun good. I'm sorry, that's bad grammar. Clean your gun well with very little effort. You're not just having to run a bore snake, through the action because it's so hard to tear apart and you don't want to do it, but once every so many, thousands of rounds because it's so hard to take apart or whatever. It's very easy just to strip this thing all the way down and really get in there and clean it well. So there it is. There is the Ruger PC9 Carbine taken down. I think I've showed pretty much the different aspects of it, the mag well and all that. So let's just throw her back together and then we'll go back out to the range. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. See if I can remember the reverse order of putting this all back together. Because usually I end up forgetting something. But maybe not this time. Maybe I'll remember everything I need to remember. Throw this back on. Now we just need to put our trigger pack back in. Which see these push pins are not even that tight. Of course, they're held in place once you get it inside of the stock. They can't go anywhere, so they don't have to be tight. But that's pretty simple. You don't even need tools really to get those out. So now that you got this back together, let's see here. Now we just need to screw these back in to hold it in place. And then we just put our, need to put our bolt to the back first. And there it is. The gun is back together and she's all ready to go. So let's head back out to the range now and just sling a little bit of lead with it. All right, guys, we're back out here now. So we're just going to do a little bit of shooting. The PC9 came out just a few years ago, and as soon as I saw it, I was instantly attracted to it, because when it comes to a lot of the pistol caliber carbines that you're seeing now, they really tend to be more like an AR style rifle. And even the sub 2000 is just, the Kel-Tec is just not something that was really all that appealing to me. But this looks like a gun, right? It looks like an old-fashioned sort of gun, except for the polymer. Obviously, it's not made of wood. But I've been really holding out hope that Ruger would come out with wood stocks for this, or that some aftermarket company would come out with wood stocks for this, because it really is just a big 1022, right? That's really all it is. A scaled up 1022 to take a 9mm. Now, that may be a simplistic way of looking at it, but that's really kind of what it is. It's really similar to the 1022, extremely similar to the 1022. And so the 1022 comes in both synthetic stocks and wood stocks. So why wouldn't this be available in that as well? So I was really hoping to get some sort of nice wood that I could get for this gun to make me enjoy it more, because I enjoy wood more than I do polymer. I can't help it. That's just the way I am. But this is not really a gun that I really bought for any practical purpose, really. I guess it would serve the purpose of home defense, right? The PC9, this carbine actually gained a little bit of notoriety, or became a little bit infamous, maybe, just a little bit, from that incident that happened in Texas. I don't remember what town exactly, where there was a man arguing with his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, the mother of his son, and he was in an argument, and the boyfriend was there, and the boyfriend went inside and then came back out with a gun. Well, the gun he came back out with was the PC9, but it was one of the newer models of the PC9 that has the more tactical forend on it, and they make them now that look much more like an AR style gun, even though they're not. And that's really the more popular style now, and they even have the pistol version now, the Charger version of it now, just like they have the Chargers for the 1022. And so there's different models that have come out now that are really the more popular ones. This was one of the original ones, one of the first ones that I saw in this area. As soon as it hit the gun shop, I was waiting on it. I had the gun shop owner call me as soon as he got one in, because I told him ahead of time I wanted one. And this is the first one that came in. It does not have the threaded barrel. The first one he got didn't have the threaded barrel, but I don't use suppressors. I don't plan on really ever using suppressors. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them if that's what you like, but I like the noise. Of course, you have to wear ear protection, obviously, but there's just something about that bang and all that. And my neighbors might not like it very much, but it's just something about the loud sound. I guess that's why I like hard rock, heavy metal music too. I like the loudness. I like the volume. And that's probably why I can't hear now as well. probably has something to do with it, the fact that I'm so hard of hearing. But, you know, it's just my preference. That's what I like. So I like this gun. I enjoy this gun. I don't get it out near as much as I ought to. Part of that may be because it doesn't have a wood stock on it. But anyway, let's stop yapping. I've been told by a friend that I yap too much in these videos. If there's too much talking. My last video, the critique I got was, that was a lot of talking. Probably was. So let's just do some shooting now, and maybe I'll get a better review on this video than I did the last one. But let's just shoot a few rounds, and I got several different Glock magazines here. It'll take all the different size of Glock magazines here, and of course that's what I've got it set up for, because I have more Glock magazines. I actually, you know, I bought a couple of the Ruger magazines too, but when I first got it, but then I said, you know, why not just use the Glock magazines? And so that's what I went to, and that's all I've really used in it. And well, since right after I got it, I don't even know how long I've had this gun. But let's do a little bit of shooting here. While my dogs make some noise, they like to make noise too. So guess it makes sense that they're my dogs then, because I like to make noise as well. I can't even see that sight. There we go. Well, I'm on a Model 60. I wear these plates out with it. But this front sight on this is a little harder to see. There we go. There we go. That is one thing. The front sight on this, the sight system on this is not the best. It's got a peep sight, a ghost ring style sight. It's not my favorite. I prefer other sighting systems to this, but it works well enough, I guess, for just coming out here and plinking. And obviously for like self-defense type stuff, it would be perfectly fine. But it's not a precision sight. You're not going to do any precision target shooting with it. At least I'm not. Some of these guys may be able to, but it's not me. Of course, my eyes are not as good as they used to be either. I've told you that several times. Part of getting a little bit older. When I was younger, I had perfect vision. I had almost perfect vision until I was nearly 40 years old. And just all of a sudden, I got where I couldn't see nothing. It's just got progressively worse. So, just part of the aging process, I guess. Boy, it's getting hard to see that front side. Black on black. Let's go over here and see if I can hit this one again. I went high on that. And pulled that other one to the left. So even at distance out there, I struggle a little bit with this. A little bit better than a handgun, I think you see. But not near as good as that Model 60 or even my lever action rifles. I do a whole lot better hitting at distance with those than I do with this. But let's just keep on slinging some lead here. And I miss on the last round. Should have known better than shoot that little plate. All right, let's go for the Happy Stick. It's one of the aftermarket ones, and I can't for the life of remember who makes this one. I don't think it's written on here, is it? Maybe it is, but I can't see it to save my life. I'll write it on the screen in post once I figure out who made this thing. I've had no trouble with it. I think it was supposed to be a 33 round, which is the same as what the Glock magazines are, I believe. But I can't get but maybe 30 in it. Even with a mag loader, it just isn't going to happen. But I've not had any real failures with it other than in that Glock 19 video. I think that's the only time I've really had any issues with it. But you know, I probably will now since I'm doing a video. That's usually when stuff happens. I say one thing and then it all goes haywire. Come on. There we go. This is the mag that never ends. Let's try this one over here again. I shot that over the top, I think. And that was low, I think. I'm getting tired and getting shaky. Woo, that's hot. Grabbed the barrel by accident there. She's a little warm. How many more mags? I got a couple more mags loaded. What else can I tell you about the PC9 short and chunky? Well, it's fun. I'm having a blast out here slinging lead. So it's good at that. I'm glad I bought it. You know, I don't regret buying this gun. One other thing I didn't mention is it has the pieces that you can stick in the end here, the extensions, to give you a little bit more length of pull. And I've got them all in here. And it wouldn't hurt me to have them a little bit longer than this, but it works pretty good like this. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice gun. I know some people had some issues with feeding and things of that sort with it. I never had any issues with it. As far as I know, it's been reliable. I'm not going to say it's never had a failure because it's been a while since I shot it. My memory's not that good, but I don't remember having failures in it. It's been pretty reliable when I've shot it. So, you know, that's something to be said for that, right? You'll notice though that the 9mm here doesn't knock these plates around like that Marlin Model 94, 1894 and 44 Magnum. That 44 Mag, even when I was shooting 44 Special, had a lot more kick to it. But the thing is, this has a lot of recoil. Now, I'm not saying it's hurting me or it's knocking me around really, but for what it is, for a 9mm carbine, as heavy as this thing is, you would think you wouldn't even feel the recoil, but you do. And I think it's that bolt in there is really heavy. And I think once it gets going, it has a lot of inertia, and that's what you're really feeling because there's no buffer in here. It's not like an AR with a buffer in the stock. And I think you're feeling that inertia from that big heavy bolt that they've got in there. But that's something that is a little bit surprising is how much recoil it does have, being only a 9mm. But I mean, it's not so much that it makes a difference. It's not going to, you know, deter me from shooting it because it wallops me so much. It's not like my 4570, that little 20-inch cowboy model Marlin 1895 I've got. When I shoot those hot 4570s I load in it, that thing just knocks the slobber out of me. It's almost as bad as my 3.5-inch Mossberg. Let's shoot a little bit more here. Getting in a hurry. Start looking tight. Well, we got one more mag, and then I'll let you go and stop bothering you so much. Stop boring you to death with all my talking. I'm trying to shoot more. Trying to keep my mouth shut. That's a hard thing for a preacher to do, you know. I like to hear myself speak. I don't know if anybody else does or not, but you know, my congregation ain't fired me yet, so I guess that's saying something. Let's throw some right back down here again. Well, And I hit on the last round, so that's good enough for me. There you go. The Ruger PC9 Carbine. Nice gun. Enjoy it. Wish it was wood. It's not. Just have to make do with it being this plastic, but you know, still can't beat it. Does a good job. Prefer this to an AR style myself. So if my options are an AR style, a sub 2000, or this right here, I'm gonna take this every day till they make a lever action. I'm waiting for a lever action. Marlin, Winchester, somebody, Henry, who cares? Rossi, I don't care. Make me a lever action in 9mm. I don't know how that'd work exactly, but if you can make me a lever action 9mm, I'd really like it. So anyway, appreciate you guys coming out. Y'all take care. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.